Welcome back, True Seeker. Big news today out of the UK. Just like 17 years ago today, it was big news out of the UK. It's July 7th, 2022. 17 years ago today, you had the London bombings. Reminded people a lot of September 11th, 2001. But 17 years later, it's the bombshell. Boris Johnson, who's been going through some turmoil, he's resigning. And funny enough, not only does he resign on the 17-year anniversary of the London bombings, but he resigns 17 days before what would have been the third anniversary of him becoming prime minister. And as we know, 17 is a special number in the history of London. Modern Freemasonry was created in 1717 in the city of London, England. And before we go any further with this, I just want to remind about when Boris Johnson, who came out of the whole Brexit Masonic fiasco, when he replaced Theresa May, who replaced David Cameron, and every last one of these has been a Masonic ritual as we've been documenting all these years. But remember, Theresa May took office July 13th, 2016 after Brexit, and she left office July 24th, 2019. From the day she took office to the day she left office was exactly 158 weeks, and in Gematria, Boris Johnson equals 158. If you're new here, Gematria comes from Jewish mysticism Kabbalah. It's as simple as A, B, C, D, E, F, G is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. It's also as simple as just running the alphabetic order in reverse, making Z1 back to A is 26. Aleister Crowley, famous occultist who wrote a lot of books about Gematria, said you must do everything forwards and backwards. Boris Johnson equals 158 forwards. Freemasonry equals 158 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. Modern Freemasonry, again established in London in 1717. Here we are on the 17-year anniversary. Not to mention 17's the 7th prime number, and here we are on 77, where the Masons logo is a big fat G, which is the 7th letter of the alphabetic order. But again, another perfect ritual. Boris Johnson's been the perfect puppet on strings, as we've documented so many times. If you guys haven't read my book, you can learn about why Boris Johnson read the 56-page winter plan for what to do about coronavirus before he locked down London on remember the 5th of November, the day leaving 56 days left in the year, and that was after the 56% more infectious UK strain. Again, there's a reason for all of this. And the 56 things as simple as coronavirus equals 56, so does COVID vaccine, so does Freemasons, the plural, so does Society of Jesus, who's the Jesuit order who created modern Freemasonry, who created this nation that I'm speaking from, America, with the 56 signers. Again, you learn the numbers of this cabal, you understand the truth about history and the puppet show we're living out. With regards to modern Freemasonry being a Jesuit creation, today he resigned in front of 10 Downing Street, where above the door, stained in the glass like a Catholic church, is the upper half of the Jesuit order's logo. And let's look at this all the way through. So if you're new here, Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards with numerology. And notice how Freemasonry with numerology equals 58. Boris Johnson's 58 years old right now. When he turned 58, he began his 59th year of life. Notice how when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, Freemasonry's 59 instead of 58. London, England is 59 forwards, 58 in reverse. So again, he's 58 years old right now, which means he's in his 59th year of life. 59's the 17th prime number, resigning 17 days before the anniversary of him starting on the 17-year anniversary of the London bombings. And again, just look at the way it all lines up. Isn't it so perfect that modern Freemasonry began in London, England with these rituals? Now, keep in mind, today is 7-7. Secret society equals 58 forwards, like his age, 77 in reverse. And for those of you who are new here, I've been calling him Bad Barbershop Brother number 2 for several years now. Pretty much since the first day he took office, I've been calling him Bad Barbershop Brother number 2. Who Bad Barbershop Brother number 1 is Donald Trump, who was in office when Boris Johnson took office. We had the Bad Barbershop Brothers in the U.S. and the UK, two nations that never really got free from each other. They've always been part of the same Jesuit Masonic network, where all of history is a lie, all part of the puppet show. But Donald Trump won the 58th presidential election after announcing he was running from the 58-story Trump Tower and hiring the 58-year-old Steve Ray for Inauguration Day from the Washington Nationals before they won the World Series, the Nationals, while Trump was president, as we predicted, dead on, helping a lot of people earn a lot of money, as we've done a million times with a lot of rigged sports games. So anyway, at age 58 on 7/7, such a perfect day for a ritual. And in Gematria, in what's considered the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, notice how Freemasonry is 58, Masonry is 33, and Mason is 17. Modern Freemasonry created in 1717. Freemasonry does have that Gematria 59 as well, which is the 17th prime number. It's why this nation, America, was created 59 years later in 1776. But with regards to the 17 and 33, don't forget the Masonic headquarters in Washington, D.C., known as the Masonic City. The House of the Temples at the address 1733. There's 33 columns on the outside, each 33 feet tall. Masonry 33, the top degree of the Scottish Rite 33. The word England, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology, is 33. The city of London is divided into 33 neighborhood areas. Brexit also equals 33. Cameron equals 33. David Cameron goes out. Theresa May gets put in on July 13th, 13/7, like 137, the 33rd prime number when government equals 137, authority equals 137, Washington, D.C. equals 137. George Washington with his 33 generals that were supposedly Masons in the history book. For the record, federal equals 33, the word we use over here. And the other piece of this, Boris Johnson just turned 58 on June 19th, the real King James's birthday. King James dropped dead at age 58. He was a Freemason. He was also a Rosicrucian, which also equals 58. But from Boris Johnson's June 19th birthday to today is 18 days later. Why 18? Again, the Jesuits created modern Freemasonry. The Jesuit order's logo is the sun with the letters IHS in it for Isus Hominum Salvator. IHS equals 18 forwards and backwards, like the word sun equals 18. And for another fast fact, gas equals 18, so does oil. They say that's a product of the sun cycle, breaking down organic material. Here in the U.S., we have a federal tax of 18 cents per gallon on oil. Anyway, 18 days after his birthday, the Jesuit order, big with 18. You know how we use the word soldier just to make a point? Sol, die, R. R is the 18th letter. You got to be 18 to join the military. You become an adult at age 18. Sol is the sun. The Jesuits, Catholic and Jewish, in Jewish numerology, 18 represents the meaning of life. But 18 days after Boris Johnson's birthday, we're above the door at 10 Downing Street is the upper half of the Jesuit Order's logo. Again, if you zoom in on it, you can see the sun with the Templar cross at the top. Just below that would be the letters IHS, which are cut off here. But you can see the sun ray pattern, which is the exact pattern the Jesuits use on their sun. And again, beyond just that, 10 has that special gematria of 42, like Jesuit, also like Freemason. Downing has the same gematria as Jesuits. And, you know, to knock something down, think about it. But this structure was completed in 1684, Jesuit 84, Prime Minister 84, United States of America 84. And if you write out the Jesuit order, it's also 84. Also, 1684 was 144 years after the Jesuits were recognized by the Vatican in 1540. So 144 years later, you get 10 Downing Street. 10 in Satanic Gematria is also 144. That's an interesting cipher where you just start counting at 36. So A is 36, B is 37, C is 38. If you write out Satanic Gematria in that cipher, it equals 666, which is the 36th triangular number. And again, the cipher begins with the count of 36. I didn't make this stuff up. We just discovered it. And by the way, the Jesuit order's logo's described as a Christogram, which equals the same thing as London, England. And you see the 59 in it, the 17th prime where we began. So there can be no mistake. Again, D.C. over here in the U.S. is the Jesuit Masonic city. It's clear the same thing's going on at 10 Downing Street, which makes so much sense since we came pretty much from there and we supposedly got free from there, which we obviously didn't. And again, I mean, I don't know why this story didn't go viral when I covered this back on July 24th, 2019. You think every person in the UK would have said, "Wow, did you see that about Boris Johnson replacing Theresa May exactly 158 weeks later? Man, we got to look into this ABC123 code. We could teach this to our 5-year-olds. We could teach this to our 6 and 7-year-olds. We could get some people that are awake and know what's really going on and the way we're being manipulated and played for fools." You know? And I told you back then when they were doing the whole Brexit thing, I said, this is all signs of what we're talking about, just the chaos in the world order, what's coming in 2020. Back then we kept saying, watch when 2020 comes, 19 years after 9/11 and the 19 hijackers, 19 years, the cycle of the moon, the 19th tarot card, the sun card where Isus equals 19, the Roman way of saying Jesus when it's the society of Jesus that runs these nations. So here's the latest proof of why you want to learn gematria, and you can understand why the big Boris Johnson bombshell on the 17-year anniversary of the bombs going off in London, which had nothing to do with Islamic extremism and had everything to do with the Jesuit Masonic alliance that controls these nations, that likes to blame things on Muslims, just like the Crusades. And remember, George W. Bush, good little Skull and Bones member, which is a Masonic Jesuit Illuminati network, you know, why George W. Bush called it the Crusades back then. And then you had Tony Blair, his little prick secret society sibling overseas in the UK, you know. The same stuff's been going on the whole time. The whole time, the same rituals. And also today, R.I.P. to James Caan, who's in the news. He reportedly died yesterday. We knew yesterday would be big news because it's the 187th day of the year, the Society of Jesus Homicide Code. He was in The Godfather. The real Godfather's the Pope. He died 201 days after the Pope's birthday. Remember, Jorge Mario Bergoglio equals 201, who is Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, where the Jesuit order equals 201. And that's why Event 201 was the coronavirus pandemic simulation put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab before everything we've seen Trump and Boris Johnson go along with. Again, the pandemic was declared 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began, and that's why Boris Johnson just couldn't get 56 out of his mouth in every last thing he did with COVID. Just like Gavin Newsom, the Jesuit prick in California, everything he did was 56, not to mention his name equals 56. 56% of California will get coronavirus in 8 weeks. 56 days. Again, you guys learn the code, see through the rituals. And if you want to know why James Caan is dead on 6/7, remember we just talked about this yesterday before this news broke. George W. Bush, born on 6/7. George Washington, dead at age 67. And King George II, dead on the day leaving 67 days left in the year. So on this day, you get the death of James Caan for another 67, synced up with the Pope in Italy, the real Godfather. And again, it's the same power structure making all of this happen. They've built this world, the nations, the calendar, the English language that's the language of the world, which is the new living language that was written about in the Georgia Guidestones that got destroyed by the numbers yesterday on George W. Bush's 76th birthday when Skull and Bones equals 76. Anyway, learn the knowledge, see through the rituals, have no doubt that this is what's going on because you can prove it every single day. Every single day. And I've been talking about old Boris Johnson and Trump in 58 for a long time, and now look at how he resigns at this age. You know? It's a mockery, you guys. 2 presidents with messy hair with the same numbers. Anyhow. I see somebody else got generous on this live stream as well. Let me say thank you real quick, and then I do have to get back to the things I'm supposed to be working on. You guys can understand why it's so hard for me to finish my book. There's always just so much to keep up with. And Mookie. Thank you, Mookie. Mookie chipped in $5, said Biden is awarding 17 Americans civilian honors right now. Speak on it. Let me look it up, but we know why, right? The Masonic City. Biden... Let me just search see Biden 17 if that comes up right now. Biden 17. Yep, live. Biden awards Presidential Medal of Freedom to 17. All right. Type it out more, get a better headline. Yeah, there it is right there. Boris Johnson, he's stepping down in a big 17 ritual. Biden over here in the Masonic City, he's giving out 17 medals of freedom. Today's, if I'm not mistaken, today's Biden's 223rd day of his age. Let me check that real quick. His birthday is November 20th. You can look it up if you doubt it. It is covered every day, so. I believe it's his 200. Oh, no, I did bad math. I take it back. 230 days after, 230th day of his age. You could also say it's 229 days after his birthday, which is the 50th prime number. America equals 50, the land of 50 states, and 6 territories for a total of 56, like the 56 signers. Washington equals 50, America 50, so 7 months and 17 days after his birthday as well. We just said 17 is the 7th prime. I'm actually not sure what the Gematria Medal of Freedom is, but we get why it's 17. We get why it's that. Whoops. Medal of Freedom. 122 like Jesus Hominum Salvator. Maybe there's something more to that 256 than just the gun control stuff we continue to talk about. Here in the U.S., we just had a gun control on 25/6, the biggest of its kind since September 13th, 94, the 256th day of the year. 68, big number with the Catholic Church, big number with a lot of rituals, and 67 is the 19th prime, but yeah, I'm sure the 17 for the Medals of Freedom is in tribute to the Masonic City, D.C., named after the Freemason War General George Washington. So, all right, we'll leave it there for now. We'll keep it short and sweet. Again, thank you to the people who hit the like and the share. Thank you to the people who tuned in. And until next time, Truth Seeker.